Hey, what's up everybody? It is Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, and we are ready for TNT today. So today we're going to get a little bit ambitious, and if you're taking a look here, this is going to be the power cord. This happens to be to an Apple charger. We're going to go out there and take a look at that, investigate how to go out there and create that. It's going to get a little bit tricky, a little bit interesting. This might take a little bit longer, but hey, we got time, right? So let's go ahead and let's get started. So I'm going to come out here and go to a new standard inch IPT and go ahead and hit create. I'm going to start a 2D sketch, pick on a work plane, and what I'm going to first do is come down here and draw a circle. I'm going to make sure that's staying vertical with the origin, and that has a diameter of 0.25, just like so. I'm now going to come out here and dimension from this center point to this center point. I'm going to take that down 0.375 like so. And I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that those are vertically constrained just like that with my sketch constraint. Alright, so once I have that done, now what I'm going to do is come up here, go to my circular pattern, pick on this circle. I'm going to use my red arrow for my axis and just simply pick the origin. Obviously I'm going to need 3 of these and not 6, and then when I get done with the 3, I'm going to hit the double chevrons right here and make sure that this is not associative. I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Okay, before moving on, what I want to do is come out here and fix the center points, okay, of those 2 new circles, and I want to come out here and make sure that those are all dimensioned to 0.25 like so. Alright, so that's the point when I can come out here and begin drawing my lines. So when I draw my lines, I'm going to make sure that they are extending beyond the circle on both sides and it's way out from it. And I'm going to go ahead and just repeat this line 2 other times like so. And now what I'm going to do is come out here and use my tangent constraint and go ahead and just get those snug right up against those circles like so, where we have a profile that looks like this. Okay, so once that is done, now we can go ahead and begin trimming these out. And then finally what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just trim out these sections like so. Okay, so that's the first main profile that we're going to need. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish the sketch. I'm going to go ahead now and just turn on this origin folder. I'm going to come out here and find the plane that is currently sitting on. I'm going to go ahead and just turn the visibility on. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a 2D sketch. I'm going to come here to the border of the work plane. I'm going to pick, hold, and drag, and I'm going to be dragging that out a distance, and it looks like here, the one I have, it's about 1/2 inch out. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in 0.5 and hit enter. And now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just project that geometry out to that work plane that I just previously created and finish the sketch. Alright, so we have that done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another work plane. It looks like it's going to be 3/4 inch away from the existing work plane. So I'm going to go ahead and start a 2D sketch, come here to the border again. I'm going to pick, hold, and drag. I'm going to take that out a distance of 0.75. Alright, starting from that origin, I'm going to go ahead and draw my circle here, and that looks like, I think it's like 3/8, so I'm going to go ahead and just type in 0.375 for the diameter of that circle, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish the sketch. Alright, so that's basically everything that we're going to need to get started here, so watch how this works. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do a loft between this circle, okay, and that triangular profile. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And then now what I'm going to do is go ahead and just use extrude of this profile, and I'm going to send that back, okay, to next, where it blends right in, okay, with that profile. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and just start shutting some work planes down just to clean this up for us. Okay, just like so. And now what I'm going to do is I'd like to finish this one out. So I'm going to start the 2D sketch here. I'm going to project some geometry from that existing circle, finish the sketch, and now I'm going to go out here and do an extrude. And it looks like that is coming out, a distance of about 1/2 inch, so I'm going to go ahead and type in 0.5. Alright, here at the very end, it looks like there's just a little bit of sort of a lip. I'm going to go ahead and start my circle and just, I don't know, I'm just going to take this out just a little bit beyond it. I'm not even punching in dimensions. You're going to see that on this one. Right now I'm just having a little bit of fun, okay, working with the software. I'm going to bring that out like, I don't know, 1/16 inch or 0.0625. Alright, so in order to sort of get all this to blend in, I'm going to come out here and start using fillet. I can see my radius right now is sitting at 1/8 inch. I'll go ahead and apply it to that edge. I'm going to go ahead and say OK. Okay, that blended it pretty well. Now I'm going to come here and go to fillet. I'm going to grab on this edge, but this case I'm going to come out here and just bring this down to like 0.03. Let's see if we can get 0.06 to work for us, and it does. Okay, I'm now going to go ahead and say OK. All right, so I basically have that plug sort of set up and ready to go. Now I can go ahead and start putting my prongs in here at the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and start a 2D sketch. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here. I'm just going to use 2-point rectangle. I'm not going to get crazy with this with dimensions. It's just going to take too long. So I can just sort of take a look, at the end of that plug and start figuring out kind of where everything needs to be. All right, and let's see if we can go ahead and get going on this. Here we go. So let's go to rectangle, and I'm going to start this guy. It looks like it's just a little bit above the center point. Okay, and it looks like it's coming down like to here. So we'll go ahead and accept that. All right, I can go ahead and just draw a quick line starting from the midpoint here, draw that down, and now what I can do is go ahead and use mirror. I can select this as my profile, red arrow for my mirror line, go ahead and pick on the line I just drawn a couple seconds ago, hit apply. All right, and now what I'm gonna do is come down here, and it's not gonna be the exact center of that, it's actually raised up a little bit. All right, and it's going to be, like approximately here. All right, so we have all that done. I'm not sure. There we go. That's probably looking a little bit better. So let's go ahead and once that's done, let's go ahead and finish the sketch. Let's do an extrude on this. Grab those profiles. Let's go ahead and let's bring those out. And it looks like those are probably coming out, I don't know, looks like 5/8. All right, let's go with 5/8. Why not? Let's just see how it looks. So let's just punch in 5/8 there. All right, those are coming out like so. That looks pretty good. All right, so if you take a look at the actual blades on some of these, you're going to see that there is a slight little chamfer. So we can come out here. Let's just grab all those edges for that chamfer. Okay, so we've just done that. The distance obviously is too far, so maybe I'll take this down to like 0.02. That's probably actually a little bit too far. Let's go to 0.01. That's looking a little bit more like it, just like so. Now here at the end of the ground plug or prong, we can see it's probably going to be rounded. So I'm going to go ahead and start a 2D sketch here on this face. I'm going to go ahead and project some geometry because I want to find that center point, because I want to come out here and just draw a line from the top to the bottom. And now I can go ahead and draw my circle like so, and I can trim out this left hand side of it, finish the sketch, and now I'm going to go into revolve, pick the profile, red arrow for the axis, pick that center line right down the center, and say my angle on this is actually going to be 180 degrees, just like so, and I say okay. All right, so actually here on the prongs, there's actually a hole drilled down through the center of it. Let's go ahead, let's start a 2D sketch. And I'm going to go ahead and just draw my circle. See if I can get this to track in place a little bit. Let's project some geometry. Now let's go out here. Okay, and now we can go ahead and draw that circle. Now we can go ahead and do extrude on that. Make sure it's a cut, and we'll send that all the way through and say okay. All right, so there you go. That is your actual plug. Now if we want to get crazy on this one, we could come out here and do a sweep for the actual cord. Like I said, we got time. Let's just go ahead and do it. So what I'm going to be doing is coming out here and finding the plane. Okay, it's going to be going flat through it just like that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the visibility on. I'm going to start a 2D sketch, and we'll make it right there. And I'm going to come out here and go to spline. I'm going to use interpolation. I'm going to go ahead and start it from that midpoint. And I'm just going to make just some really easy transitions here, for that chord. I'm going to right click and say create. Okay, and now I'm going to go ahead and finish up the sketch. All right, so what we can do is we can come here to the back side of this. I'm going to go ahead and start the 2D sketch. And then I'm going to go ahead and just draw a circle starting here from the origin and take this out, about to, what that chord diameter is, and say finish the sketch. And now what we should be able to do is go to sweep, pick the profile, and then just simply pick on the path. And now that is going to go out there like so, and we have that chord. All right, I'm going to start shutting down some work planes so we can sort of see this. Okay, but there is your power plug. All right, so if I were you, what I would be doing is coming out here and just turning this all to white or black, whichever one you want. And then I know that all these are going to be sort of silver with a color override appearance. So you can go ahead and just start grabbing faces. If you hold down control, you can pick on multiple faces in one shot. See if I can get in there. There we go, we got it. All right, and now we can start adjusting those to where those are actually silver. So finding silver, it's gonna have a lot more shine to it. Same thing here on the grounding plug. See if we can get that to turn silver as well. Here we go. All right, and you can go ahead and continue and make that turn into whatever that sort of needs to look like. But there you go. That's a power cord to an Apple device, and if it's just something laying around, A lot of really cool stuff there as far as revolve, and you've got loft in there and some color overrides, sweep. So that one's kind of a little bit more challenging, but kind of fun once you sort of watch it take shape. So there you go. That's it for today's TNT Today. I'll see you soon.